effort of Breeze over and over. We saw it yesterday, and it didn't go well.
Dangerous game to be agreeing with Ender. Be cautious about that. Ghost starting off on the attacking side. A little bit of info trying to be gathered across mid-map. You know, we've talked about how their record on Breeze is pretty outrageously high. But the fact that these two maps are the same two maps that Ghost played yesterday against EG almost has like a foreboding something to it. Oh, but Yu's already been spotted, man. The info that's gathered off the utility is too good, as Ghosts have already gotten a couple of key openers on the pistol. Numbers heavily their way of 5v2 here as the remaining members of NRG, excuse me. So far away.
Off to a great start. It's going to be really hard to get past this wall right now. Both of them, neither of them flanking. So they have to rely on Ethan's bird, but the wall comes down, so they sneak past.
Yeah, but look at Nismo, man. He's like tucked in that little corner. Pop flashes out, swings out with it. Hayes left alone in a 1v3, and he's not going to pull it off this time. Ghost win the first.
Yeah, you're right about Nismo there in that pocket, abusing the opposing. Yeah, exactly. Just flashing. Where you can't really clear, you can't see that coming, making a pop flash angle out of nothing. And Ghosts continue a good pistol round season for them so far. Them and EG have been top of the line for me in terms of pistol round conversions. Yep. Yeah. And it's been winning them games and series. So straight into the anti-eco, and they've made the right choice right away. Look, NRG has grouped up towards A. They're going to make an aggressive play. All Hayes did was put a Viper wall, and he's out of here. So if they scout this out with just one drone, they're on site and they can set up deep. Already you can see a Proto slacking back, going all the way back to window. So they should spot this really early and be able to handle it.
If for some reason this gets out of hand, you called out a Proto in window. I think that's key here. He's got the 2 snake bites. You've got Nismo who has the fragment, 2 shock darts in the hands of Brock too. The post-plant utility they have is plentiful, to say the least, but if Proto... Okay, he hears it.
He did not expect multiple to be there. He could have shut that down with a snake bite, but instead, NRG's actually got the spread position on them.
And the post-plant utility kind of is no longer a factor. They've all huddled onto the site in particular. Hayes falls. Remember, the gun difference is pretty notable here. Sam was able to pick up her Proto's gun. He's the only one who has something other than a pistol. He's got to find value. And he finds one for his troubles, but there's just not enough time.
Yeah, and that was actually a really interesting push from Ghost to go back after they spot 3 on the flank and re-aggro in through tunnels to try to isolate any low econ opponent. They find one, and then NRG actually responds with trying to fight that back by swinging through top of nest and rotating back through elbow instead. Either way, Ghost handle that well, and they only lose 1 gun for their troubles. And so now, one thing I've been noticing about Ghost in the last couple of Breeze picks from them, especially in that game of 100 Thieves, they were heavily leaning into the way that 100 Thieves was playing retake. So if they spot a tendency like that, they're very likely to abuse it for multiple rounds in a row. But none of that so far. And we've already got an op in the hand of Koala Noob.
Middle of the map has generally been uncontested, at least early on Breeze here for NRG. Continues to be the case.
NRG did get a deep Trailblazer in through cave, courtesy of Ethan. But they didn't really do anything off of that. Instead, Tex just tucks himself in that corner on A site. And they allow Koala to be just walking up with this op.
How much more room can he find? Oh no. You've left things unguarded. Sam falls. Head operator almost finds a second as a bullet flies across his face. That's all it's going to be so far. 4v4 here. Things have equalized. John has fallen. Now Ghost try to funnel their way onto B. You've got Hayes back there who's trying to stay alive, trying to find some room to work with 27 HP, and he has to take the gunfight forward as NRG push Ghost back, and they're on the board.
What a hold. From the backside, Hayes, people getting past the half wall immediately. Just really, really fast on that retake. And they reacted well to losing Sam right off the bat. I think Ghost really wanted to push the tempo there, not necessarily realizing the situation where other players were on the map. But they did abuse something there. Usually you're not getting that much value out of a Viper Orb. There they threw it so it covers tunnels from the B side. And that's how he was able to get past, originally, Hayes holding that angle and pick off Sam, who thought he was completely safe.
Noob uses a Blade Storm at the beginning of the round. Feels like a little bit of rinse and repeat, right? They test the waters mid, they get the space they're looking for. This time there's a bit of an expectation. There's a contest as Sam has fallen. Blade Storm already finding value. Ghost up 5v4, make that 5v3.
And look, again, they get a kill with that. Or from right there, Ethan does clap back, but Hayes this time isolated completely by himself, and Koala Noob just wipes him out. So this rotate coming very, very slow. They might opt to even save right off the rip. Yeah, they're running back towards it.
Yeah, they don't want the heat. The spike's going to go down, and now we get to play this game where we wait for 40 seconds or what have you and wait until we start the next round. But, Bala, I think interesting thing here is we saw the adaptation in this round relative to the previous few.
Sure.
NRG seems to understand that mid presence is Ghost's playbook.
Yeah.
It's what they want to try to do, and even with the expectation there, Koala Noob, it's big kills.
Yeah, but I also think that they were trying to fight specifically against that orb that's being tossed. You can still see it on the minimap right now, right next to that Viper wall on the B side. But you could see, actually, them realizing how hard it was to fight in there. You could see EU wasn't necessarily ready to swing onto Sam. He doesn't understand the timing that comes through when he has to jump through that orb. So keep watching that and that interaction. See how NRG does adapt down the line. I think the right idea, though, yeah, let's try to fight in front of it. Let's explore this, see, and test Ghost when they go for this mid-control default.
And even with two people expecting at least one qualifying value, that's big.
Yeah, and he's 3-0 so far in first kills. Again, every single one for Ghost that they've gotten so far. And it's already going right straight at Sam, the opposing Jet on this team.
And also, look at how NRG have fought for mid-map, right? Yep. They sent 3 across the right at the beginning, and sure enough, this is when Ghost decided they didn't want to have anything to do with it. Nismo gets the null command online, uses it instantly.
Doesn't reach, so there's a molly out, still delaying for quite a while. And with the mid-exploration, they have an opportunity to do some damage there. Almost get the shock molly as well, but no kills exchanged.
Ghosts have pushed their way into a pretty precarious spot, but of course, Koala Noob gets the opener again. I believe that's 4 now. As you were mentioning, traded back a 4v4 here as the spike ticks away. You see Ghost have assumed their post-play positions. Nismo causing problems from this side of Pyramid. The hop flash as he pushes forward. He's left here alone. A second one as Ethan cleans him up.
They're just waiting for the mollies.
Yeah, now it gets hard. Right now, Proto still has a snake bite. Rock still has 2 shock darts.
Oh, it missed!
Oh, but the snake bite's short. How much more do they have? Oh no, it's short, and the second one's late. Ethan gets a defuse, NRG get to 2. They had the plan, it just was not executed well.
And they're wondering right now, they're scratching their head because I don't even necessarily think that they confirmed whether that molly missed.
I don't think they did, yeah.
They have to understand at this point. A Proto. Adjust in future rounds. Oh, it bounced off of him, no way.
Right off his face, bro. It's like bang on Icebox yesterday.
Yeah, that dude was catching slows. That is absurd to lose a round like that. So it's not even a Protoss fault in that case, but they do need to be swinging and checking for that instance.
Yeah.
Now, look, they're going for this mid-aggro in the same round that Ghost is going for their own.
This is the fight that we've been looking for a little while, and there's the first one. Koala Noob has historically been the tip of the spear in this situation. He's already fallen. John may be getting a little aggressive here, a little greedy, perhaps, as he tries to peek forward. Oh, he's able to get the kill. The swing's not going to land. As they go 1 for 1.
Here.
Great trade, but they've completely killed the anchor on this site right now, so Sam has no way in. And with the mid-aggression, he's already traded off his dash, so he has no leeway to make an aggressive play. But still, 2 kills on the board for them. We've already spotted one as well. This is going to come down to potentially a Brock flank through elbow.
Note the game plan here for Ghost is very similar to what we saw in A. Nismo's planted on the site. He's the final boss in this, and you have to get through him before you even want a chance. And of course, Nismo pop flashes forward. He's only able to get 1. The Headhunter drops him. And there's Brock with the flank. Info gathered, but there was obviously a big breeze going through. Made the bullets go a bit wide. A Proto with 2 on the round, 1v1. Ethan's healthy. Certainly healthier than Proto. He's going to at least stick it to half. The Molly's going to drop out. No, not again. Not again. No, my gosh, not again. Not again.
These stupid mollies, man. Oh no, that is heartbreaking there. And that there is a misplay. The other one, I give him some credit there. It bounced off his face. This time though, you know that Molly's not going to melt down a potentially full HP enemy. 126 health here. You know this is not going to take him down with this patch. He tries to go for the jump throw, and it's a beautiful arc. But Ethan makes the outplay there in a 1v1. I thought for a second there, I was like, oh, not again, because a Proto was clutching. He hit that 1v4 yesterday against EG. But he just fails at the last hurdle.
A little more recent.
That was
Nisma's already fallen.
That was so long range.
Mm-hmm. I just look at the X and look at the minimap. I was downtown.
Responding with some first kills of his own. Koala is exploring this angle right here. Try to find himself a kill onto EU, who's been playing up in Nest.
Ethan now trying to enter the site. He's got the Marshall, and it's just not a fair fight against the Tour de Force, man. It's just not. Spike still hasn't made its way out. Tex, second time's the charm, or so they say. It's a 2v2 here, and you see them. They're holding respective angles, and Brock swings on the side. Yeah, no idea. Lands those. And he gets it defused. Now Hayes in a 1v2. He's got the he's got the Viper Spit, excuse me, and he's gotten it to a 1v1. Another clutch situation. Remember, the Tour de Force. He's got to land the shots, teleports out. Now he's able to still hold this angle from caves.
You're right. Viper's Pit, that's going to be huge. And it's not really planted. John has to swing so wide on this one. And with only a Tour de Force, no Wandle to spray into this.
He's got to push it. Hayes goes aggressive. He still has plenty of time. He tests the waters, now drops back. And there may not be enough time to fake it here. My goodness, he's got to commit to it. Gets it to half. Waiting, baiting, fading, anticipating, and he swings out, gets the kill. And is he going to get the defuse? It's so close. Yes, he is.
Plenty of time.
The Red Bull clutch.
Woo. Round after
on this Ghost roster that can pop off at any moment, and it felt like it was just the stars lined up in an unfortunate way. Nobody was hitting their shots.
Yeah. I mean, EG was hitting their shots too, so you
you
always have to think about that when you look at stats in terms of specific series. Fast push here from Koala. He tried to abuse that trademark last time, but this time there's two.
EU's down to 37 HP. He's been spammed all over the place. Tyson drops some util, but they're pretty good too. Now you see that first Molly come through, and there it is. Hunter's Fury now. Factors Brock. A little bit of assist damage there. They have full hull control. The spike hasn't gone out yet. They have control.
And Hayes' flashback side, but they don't check. They don't swing fast enough. Either way, the trade is good from a Proto.
And John in a 3v1, they choose to drop. Yeah, they choose to drop the Viper's Pit. And it's all on Tex here. Spots one player. Now they know exactly where he is. He's able to swing out, get the first. Don't give him the 1v1s, man. Don't give him the 1v1s. Tex has already gotten it down to 1, 0 armor, 85 HP. Drops down.
And a Proto already lost 2 of these situations.
Tex deciding to push into the Viper's Pit. Doesn't have much of a choice here. 22 HP, but if the timing lands right, my goodness, when Proto finds the 1v1, and they get Ghost the round. Ballo, it feels like every single round has been like this.
Yeah, it has. It really has. And that one, in my opinion, Ghost had the beautiful trades coming out of halls, the pressure onto Hayes. They were in advance. I mean, come on, Tex. This is stuff you expect from him, sure. His aim is unbelievable, but long range as well. And then unfortunately, such a tough situation. Sure, the other situation with the Viper's Pit ended up winning the round from Hayes. But when you have to try to find that player.
Look at this stack out from NRG. Up close and personal. They have one hero rifle in the hands of Ethan, and it's already fallen. So many targets to look at. And Tex is the one who's finding him. My goodness, Tex seems to be on one today. 3 on the round. And Ghost are left in tatters.
The Chamber players are certainly feeling it. John QT as well.
Take flight.
In tatters, but still a lot of weapon advantage as a Proto gets one.
Yeah. Now it's a 2v2. A Proto swings out. Oh gosh. It's fine. Hayes Gets it to one again. We've seen this before, but this time he has no armor and he has a classic.
John is running away at this point. And with the low HP situation, this actually gives Hayes plenty of time to feel this out and move to get a gun, most importantly.
Yep.
In this case, he'll be the advantaged player. But this time, no Viper's Pit to play against John. So what he has to figure out is how to actually approach this. Do we go on the flank? Do we try to catch him from B main? And John has to be able to get himself into a spot where he can spot all three angles easily.
It's so difficult to do. You see he set up his rendezvous. Note that John only has 26 HP. No armor, no nothing. You look at him funny here and he dies. How does Hayes choose to play this? Time not on his side. Drops some utility. Now John swinging around. He may get the timing just right. The tap, and Hayes a couple shots into the back of the head. He had the advantage, but John QT comes out with a little message sent at the end.
Well played. I mean, you're seeing players switch up in the 1v1s after, obviously, fumbles on either side. You can tell. Players are here to play. Tex, insane. John QT with his flank through in the last round. In Halls. Really well played from him as well. And then this clutch too. Look at him, 12 and 4. And you talked about yesterday against EG how it felt like they weren't hitting things. For John to now step up on Breeze, wow, Nismo's slightly quiet so far on this attacking side. It's a great sign.
Again, Ghosts look to push the tempo and take Hall's control, and they do. Koala Noob trying to find something. EU somehow stays alive. The bullets run dry. The blades there. He's able to get one.
Spike planted.
Gosh, doesn't check it though on the other side of that. And they respond with their own flash peek at as well. So Ghost an advantage, and Koala's now flanking mid too.
And he almost has to, right? With John being dead, there's no alarm bot to keep things safe. Tex blinded up to high heaven, and the Tour de Force isn't going to see it. It's not going to land the shots. Here comes the reassessed flank from Double Doors. NRG, they've gotten as competitive, but there's the flank that you mentioned. And even with the secret,
it's poised to send 3 down Halls. That leaves Hayes on an island. And Ethan as well, but the Halls push could net a really fast flank no matter what.
Have to be cautious for it, and you can tell they're almost expecting it. A Protoss still back in spawn. Understanding there's no presence A. Sure enough, that's our NRG are trampling down.
Don't forget they also have this KO ult too.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Long range fight, Ethan wins it out. And they won't choose to actually push the pace on this flank now that they've lost coverage on it. Instead, they're going towards Hayes. They're going to ult him down, sure, but there's presence here from the rest of the team.
Yeah, and the utility, okay, they start to funnel their way out. Nismo's already gotten the first kill. They want to push the matter forward. You see Koala Noob, he's going to have 2 targets in front of him, not able to take care of either. Brock gets the spike down. You see the Hunter Shooter come through on top of the shock dart. Brock nowhere to go. How is he alive? How the heck is he alive?
Another push. Ambitious.
Not satisfied. Bullets go a little whiffy. They're just not landing. Coast down to 2, and Brock is weak. Nismo falls. Brock's the last one there. Sam gets 4 on the round as NRG are going to get the defuse and get to 5.
That's super important as we come down to the final hour in this first half. Ghost have a unbelievable defense throughout groups. Yesterday they faltered a little bit against EG, sure.
A lot of it.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, you can't take away from them.
Yeah.
The amount of setups, the amount of pressure they could put at any time. What a round from Psalm, though, too. Love to see him back on the jet on this map. Certainly more exciting to watch than the Omen. And I think it's important that they are going away finally from all of the off-meta ideas that they had, because they did not work in groups. And while they haven't been practicing this specific comp throughout the entire season, it's something that they're comfortable with. It's something that they played last season. And even though there's plenty of changes to be talked about, Psalm showing up a little bit towards the end of this half.
Note again here as we enter the last round of the half. Ghost, with the exception of 1 blemish yesterday, have an otherwise spotless record on this map. And NRG, I mean, they're going toe-to-toe with them. They've made the adaptations that are necessary.
They are staying so far back here, Doug, against any potential knife that Nismo will have. But he's so far up with the drone. No, he's just using it to clear the corner. That does give them information.
Plucks him straight out of the sky, but the trade comes through. Now the Viper's Pit drops from a Proto, and they should have a little bit of room to work with. Get the spike down. It looked like it may fall just a bit short, but no, he's able to get the spike down. You've got the flank coming through. The alarm bot is still in play here. Oh, but it doesn't spot that.
This kid is insane.
And he's pushing his way forward. A Proto may have taken a little bit of damage. Look, they're huddled in under the end of the pit, but there's nowhere for them to go. They're just going to have to hold fast. They're going to have to put their feet in the ground and keep them back. 3 remaining on the side of NRG, and they're so healthy, but Brock was the hidden plant. A Proto's here in the 1v2. He's been in so many of these, and he's not going to get it. Oh my gosh, I think he's been in 4 1v1s, and he only won one of them. Ethan's going to get the defuse. We're tied up at 6.5, friends.
While the first half, in my opinion, was successful in the ways that they were aggressing the sites, they failed in the post-plants. But for them on defense, they have insane post-plant denial rates and retake percentages as well. So that's the comparison. And already down mid again, John QT just completely deletes Sam, who is struggling today against the 2 stars of Ghost. Tex has been the guy who's been carrying the load in these first engagements.
Yeah, Tex ain't struggling, man.
Not at all.
Oh, he's still up. You see a little bit of Hall's A presence, and they've managed to get onto A for free. They're going to be able to get cozy in their spots. They're able to take all the space that they want. Hayes is the first linchpin that they're going to have to take care of, though. And you see Ethan pushing his way forward as well. He's got nothing but a ghost. No armor, but what he does have is timing.
I mean, full control of this site. 3 people are going to look at them as they cross the double doors.
Player standing.
Just no chance.
Going their way.
And it's surprising to me the slowness of the reaction on that, right? Jean finally comes on the flank. We had the Viper, a Proto, not rotating off of B for what felt like years as they continued to explore mid. I think there was a moment there where after Koala Noob goes down, I believe it was him who ended up dying to Tex in mid. He's supposed to go back and spot A, see if they're actually aggressing past that Viper wall. And without that piece, I think the reaction was not as clinical as Ghost might have wanted.
Koala but the only gun here, a Marshall. Pistols the rest of the way for Ghost as NRG are able to lean into the advantages that they had. You have 2 Bulldogs coming through in the hands of Ethan and Hazed. Should have a pretty cozy advantage. Koala note, again, the only Marshall going hunting, trying to find something. Nope. 2 already drop on the side of Ghost, a 5v3 in favor of NRG.
And at this point, still walking into a stack. Ghost is hoping that they continue to... Actually, no, they're going to walk through. Instead, I think they think that NRG was going to rotate off, thought that they understood what was going on. And I think they did, but there's a moment there that NRG could have continued after they say, oh, we got 2 kills on A already, you know? Obviously, the Viper wall was still up. It was still placed towards A. You can't have a Viper 1 all the way back to the other side after placing a wall there on Breeze. Still well handled.
Yeah, it's just more fun if you're Ghost to just push it in a situation like that, right? Like, forget about being tactful.
Yeah, let's
just have a little
Let's
fun.
forget about Copenhagen then, Doug. You know what I mean? No, I mean, I think that was just good reads on both sides, good attempts to come out with something on that. Eco. So back to default stuff right here. Koala Noob up towards double doors of Proto with his wall. And Brock holding Halls.
Interesting to see how NRG choose to play this because they had Cave's control at the very beginning. They've given that space back, and that makes this wall from a Proto so much more devastating. You have to clear this wall 3 times before you get onto A. So if they choose to go back that way through Caves, I'm curious to see if they're going to invest a lot of utility to get through this.
Well, you know, we could use 3 bodies, you know, clear the angle 3
Or that.
times. Or you could just use a measly little drone. Oh, but that's
the
huge.
Proto's already fallen. Yeah, that's massive.
This guy's lights out, Tex. Tex today, he's unbelievable. He's hitting headshots left and right, one taps. And again, Ghost has let them on the site in a man disadvantage, and NRG has Hull's control. This time, double doors are missing from them, but still, I mean, this has been so successful when they're pushed up so far this half.
You mentioned Ghost are going to retakes. They're going to get a chance at it again. Som wins that out with the Spectre, swings out, tries to find another, and sure enough, he does. It's just John and Koala left with Vandals, and you wonder at this point, do they even really want the heat?
No, they don't. This round, to me, uncharacteristic from a Proto. This guy, along with Brock, actually, have the least first deaths out of any team, any player in the league. And him going down first, obviously that impacts a lot on defense right here. We were talking about the Viper Wall being something that's difficult for NRG to get through. But he doesn't even get to use that at that point, and that allows them to abuse so much more space on A. Just a note, he only died 8 times first in all 5 weeks of group stages.
That's actually insane. To think about how many rounds are played out throughout a month and a half that we've been going at it. And I mean, yes, a Proto uncharacteristic, but you mentioned it. Tex is just
he's farming.
Magnetic, dude. He is dialed in. Heat-seeking bullets coming out of his gun.
And they're such impactful kills as well. I mean, sure, there have been situations where he was in the 1v3, and yeah, he doesn't end up winning that. But I'm looking at the scoreline, I'm surprised, because I feel like every round he's having a moment. And that's why I say super impactful. For a close game where Ghost has been leading the majority of the way in first kills, he's really bringing it back in their favor.
Oof. Brock does have a Marshall, but you see 2 pistols in the hands of a Proto and Nismo.
Don't forget, these 2 Vandals were saved from last round.
Yeah.
And that does put their money situation to a weird spot. They have to get damage done this round or win the round, most importantly. And right now, they're nowhere near able to fight.
Nismo got flashed in that cubby tuck, and then they dropped the wall out of haste, and then they rotated away. They're going to try to hit this through doors or through halls again.
This is nice, though. Okay, they're regrouping in mid to try to get this weapon in Nismo's hands, who's already low HP. But the other thing, too, that trademark from NRG is all the way over towards the B side, and they could easily flank without being noticed. Again, NRG just has such a great spread when they're setting up for this post plant. It almost feels like, yes, John's going for a couple of kills right now, but if they don't get those kills, they're already setting up potentially. Oh, that sucks. His drone just got canceled by the Viper Molly. So no way to clear past this drone. I think that might default them back into let's try to save this Vandals again.
Said they had to do some sort of damage. It looks like they want to double down and try to find it. They've already gotten 1 kill. How much more can they net? Haste this week. The flash to turn around as Haste falls. And the kill gets traded back. Is that enough? Are they satiated? Looks like they are.
Yeah, big conditions here for them to bring back this map right now is a couple of kills and save both of these guns, and the Proto's going to be the guy who's basically holding on. Doesn't matter if he dies there, he's just buying time so they can't catch back up to the Vandals. And if they didn't do that, I'd be scared that they don't have any potential to catch back up in the terms of score.
They're still I mean, financially, they're still not in a great shape, even with the saving that they've done the last couple of rounds. You're right, Ball. Both John, Koala, light armor. John is also still 1 point away from having the Tour de Force online, so it's not like he can drop money in the savings account to kind of carry it on to the next round. Like, they kind of have to do it here.
I mean, you're pulling all the money out of the savings account at this point, too. It's 3 rounds for NRG to close this out. They dodged the knife. Actually, they made it seem like they're going on their default with Ethan getting caught by that knife, and so with Som. But there's actually more players here and ready to act on this execute. That's actually somewhere where Ghost caught them completely off guard multiple times in this position because of that early knife from Nismo. And while it looked like they were prepared for it, they had something, you know, planned to counter it. doesn't necessarily feel like they have a follow-up plan right now.
Oh, this looks like NRG setting up a fake off of this threat to mid-A, right? That Viper wall going up, cutting off mid-map often suggests that teams are going to try to hit through double doors. They've dropped the spike back into Hayes' hands, and he's still alongside Tex at B.
Get out of my way.
Do they bite?
Definitely, they're
See,
biting
Brock
already.
yeah, Brock is already rotating over, but actually this has been pretty patient. Proto's still here. Oh, they're rotating off. They're taking this hook, line, and sinker, and they have no
30
idea.
seconds left.
Now they have to try to rotate and deal with this push actually through A, and Sam is just pushing straight up into the back of Orange. This round wrapped up, and we've talked about it over and over. Actually, if they can clean that up fairly easily, and Ethan doesn't get any value here, this is still possible, but you have to think about this economic situation, and they are. They're trying to make every single round a gun round here, but this time I think there's actually an opportunity for NRG to wrap up these weapons. Where in previous rounds, there hasn't been. They've been too far. This could be a situation where if Ethan gets both of these guns down, the match could be over.
Yeah, you mentioned they've really invested everything. They bought down to almost nothing. John is going to have the Tour de Force into the next round, but Ethan really in a position here to put him 6 feet under, but a Proto is able to take care of that. So they're going to carry those 2 rifles in. Whew. But NRG up to a...
Man, we have not seen their fade raise combos, and relying on this breeze right now. Do or die situation with low money.
Dante used the Tour de Force early on. Nismo, my goodness, that's the kind of play that Ghosts need. Nismo coming online, trying to make a play happen and pulling it off.
Just brilliant, too, the setup. Great call out of the timeout. Massive props there. To the call that they made to just tuck Nismo into that corner and pop flash late. Because they've been walking up that dry so many times. Yeah, they've locked it up. Okay, a resurgence. But here's when it gets hard. Although EU still alive.
I think the important thing here is, as much as we talked about the money, it's worth noting Koala, a Proto, John, all didn't drop any, well, Koala's now dead, so that kind of negates that, but those 3 players are not going to have to buy up full armor. As far as John and a Proto go, like that kind of thing matters as you get late into this game, as economy has become such a pivotal part of whether or not Ghosts are going to be able to come back into this thing.
Yeah, for sure. And Koala dying there as well, even just the weapon to speak of as well. It's reset time if they lose this next round.
10 seconds
And to
left.
get reset when NRG goes into match point is unbearable. So 4 weapons carried over, not a big deal. But you're right, any money that they have to spend. And right now they're going to have to drop Koala a gun. Thankfully, El Proto has a lot of money he could spend on that. Oh.
And they're spending a lot.
Yep.
Operator in the hands of Koala right off the bat, and they have enough for armor? Is he just glass cannoning?
I think he's glass cannon, yeah.
One enemy
See in a
remaining.
second. Again, great play from a Proto or Nismo up in walls. But they don't have many more setups like that, I think, because NRG has been, yeah, sure, they're slow playing, but there's a lot of looks. And sure,
You want to play? Let's play.
Yeah. Looks like they were going to try to go for the early peek. Activates the dash instantly just in case someone's coming his way. But he's not going to get that early contest. Meanwhile, on the other side, Tex did use his Tour de Force right at the beginning of the round. Doesn't peek out window. Patient. As he waits to see what Ghosts are going to throw his way.
yeah, he's actually holding an elbow for the push that Koala and John are known to do, pair up and push, but they split them on both sides of the map. It's all coming down to a Proto right here in Koala. This wall, good, but Koala's easily going to be separated. Unless Nismo throws a cross-map knife right now, which just came up. I don't think he will.
Better throw fast. Proto's left on an island, but what?
The smoke.
What was that? Insane shot, but we mentioned to Proto he was going to be left alone, and sure enough, he falls. So side control in favor of NRG. They've got Hayes playing back. Gonna have to deal with the post-plant utility too.
Nobody on the flank to actually deal or pressure Hayes away. Nice swing though from Koala. 2 kills now in this round.
If they can deal with what's in front of them, then they can push their way forward. Note that EU also has 2 shock darts, so they're gonna have to clear out a window. First, you gotta get through Ethan. You've got to get through Ethan, but he's able to hold fast. He's able to take care of 1. Closer down to 2. The Seekers swing out as Ethan gets 3 on the round. Oh, and Brock's gonna have to do it himself. With not a lot of time left, now you see the mollies come through, and it's not gonna happen. NRG are gonna get to map point.
He's looking for the op, but the spike is gonna explode and push him away. Map point for NRG. I don't even care that he dies there. They have so much bank. And all they need is 1 round. What a shocker. For a team that was undefeated this season on this map, even deeper than that as well, longer than that. They get their first map loss on this yesterday. And now they're facing down the barrel of another map loss.
Just night and day. Night and day. You see a Proto with light armor and the Judge. You presume he's going to drop that Viper's Pit right off the bat. Try to play around it. That's exactly what he does. A nice little setup, too, off of the trademark that's in the Viper's Pit, so he can play off of it. That's a big opener for Koala, too.
He's trying so hard. Som escapes, but just barely. And Koala has repositioned all the way back over towards the left side of this site. And he did explore and see that the Viper's Pit was not on this side.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the cue to try to clear out halls, to try to pressure a little bit towards the other side to make a Proto at least uncomfortable in that. I mean, he just has a Judge. He cannot hold tunnels, for example.
Hayes has to stay up here. He still has this wall. Wins that duel out. Gets healed up.
He has a TP there as well. And he opts to try to fight and win the gun battle. And loses it in a critical moment where he has to be there to help a Proto on the backside. Thankfully, NRG so far not going for this. And Nismo pops his ult in middle. Can he get close enough to actually deny any utility coming back on the site? I think he just did. All the players in elbow suppressed.
Is he going to get the kills? They're going to swing on him, and he's not going to be looking. And now, off of the mid control that they have, they can just waltz their way back to A. You know that the Viper Pit's B. They're going to get free access onto this site, Balla.
Oh my goodness, it's all falling apart. I mean,
yeah, it is.
Falling apart too. Yes, they deal with EU, but to lose Koala there, who you could tell was going in hero play mode.
Yeah.
That
put team on his back, yeah.
That push from Nismo, I mean, unforced errors. He did the right thing. He actually got a lot of value with that ult.
7 HP. Brock in a seemingly unwinnable situation. Time not on his side, position given away, and the bullets come through to clean things up. A 13-7 win.